Welcome to the Healing Pod. I'm Megan, a licensed clinical psychologist.
And I'm Jessica, a licensed clinical social worker, and this is our journey of navigating anxiety as we learn to take up space and create an environment where we feel that we can belong.
Join us together as we learn not just to survive, but to thrive in our anxious brains.
This podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional therapy or medical advice. If you are experiencing any mental health concerns, please seek support from a qualified mental health professional or healthcare provider. Remember, your mental health is important, and seeking personalized professional help is key to your well-being.
And welcome back. We are winging it today on multiple fronts for what we're talking about, and we're trying a different recording platform because the one we were using wanted to more than double their price, and I'm not about that life right now. I can't be doing
Inflation is killing everybody.
so much so. So if I can condense this, consolidate, make it a little more affordable for us to have this one time, we're going to be trying that. Works for me.
Let's do this thing.
Mhm. Hi guys, good to be back. We're in our offices in our daytime motif here, which means we're drinking, work appropriate drinks.
I am drinking blackberry Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
It is actually pretty freaking good.
ooh. I never
Was
really
not
think
expecting that.
about Dr. Pepper because I don't drink it that much, but like blackberry with the spiciness, that sounds good.
It is good. It's
Nice.
interesting.
Yeah, I like that. I like flavors. No, I got my wife one of those soda streams for our anniversary because she likes drinking seltzer water instead of regular water. So I'm like, oh well, you want to try this? Let's try it. She's actually been drinking water every day. She's finding all the different flavorings she can add to it. It's a good thing. It's
Mhm.
fun.
That's awesome.
Mhm. So
I've looked at those things, but I know once I run out of, like, the initial stuff that I buy from it, it would just sit in a cabinet, so
yeah, we see that's sweet. We got the initial little container, which surprisingly lasted a long time for us. We know where to get those refilled, and then I bought her a giant container as well online that we just have to get refilled with the CO2, and that would
Mhm.
probably last for a year if we actually got that one refilled. So there's ways. There's ways. Unless you have little kids that just like hitting the button over and over again, then you might be in trouble.
I can see
Alright.
that happening in my house.
I can. I can. Oh, so
Absolutely. So,
yeah, we're
tomorrow is
we're
Valentine's Day.
It is, it is. We're recording this the day before Valentine's Day.
What does Valentine's Day usually look like for you guys?
I
You gals?
I know. For yeah, guys, gals, the one with the dog, I respond to everything. It's easier that way. Or Gulf of Mexico, I don't know, you can call me whatever you want, we're good.
Oh my gosh, the Gulf of America.
Yes, listen, we're changing pronouns here. We're gonna go with the birth name for the Gulf of Mexico, which I probably can't even pronounce because who knows what it was originally called. Y'all just need to stop getting your egos up there. Chill. Everything doesn't need to be named after us. It's a great distraction technique, but you kind of look really bad, especially
Yeah.
Greenland. We're not renaming it. We're not taking it over. No. Just no.
Although they should rename it because it confuses me.
Yeah, but to red, white, and blue land? Who voted for these people?
Uh,
Yeah, but Valentine's Day.
it's interesting. Valentine's Day. Sorry,
So
we got
so
sidetracked.
for us, all major holidays, like we just got into a habit very early on of we will take what we can get and we will make anything work. So our Valentine's days tend to be let me cook for you. Let me make a special meal for
Mhm.
you. Let me do something at home. Um, this is coming out on Monday. So Casey should hopefully be getting some flowers and chocolates delivered to her. It's coming out on Monday, so she's not going to know that. It's not going to spoil the surprise. So we're good. Uh, to her office. So we're doing that. So usually there's something like that, but it's easier if it's a work day, especially for her to do that than it is to try to plan a dinner out. There was one year where it was Valentine's Day and dinner was ready and we're waiting on her to come home. And the last person to pick up their dog from her grooming salon was out at dinner and had reservations and was waiting for their dinner to be served because they somehow thought that was a good idea to be eating dinner at like 6 o'clock at night when they were supposed to pick up their dog from the groomers.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense that she is a dog sitter too. She doesn't want to ruin their Valentine's
How
night.
dare she wanna come in and have her own Valentine's Day when she could just babysit
Oh,
for other
rude.
people? Yeah. So, yeah, so generally we keep it something flexible, something I'm making at home. We're making, like, a lemon chicken parmesan dinner for her this week, so it'll be good. It'll be good. Oh, yeah.
Sounds delicious. We're
Mhm.
doing something very similar. Ryan surprised me with my favorite steaks for Valentine's Day, which I got a week ago
Mm.
because I don't like surprises. He kept saying, I got a surprise for you. And I don't like surprises. So I'm like, what is it? Until he finally caved and he told me. So
Smart.
I know
Smart
what
man.
I got. Yes. And I'm working at the hospital all day tomorrow. So when I get home, it'll be like 7 o'clock. So he plans on cooking me dinner. So I think that's beautiful because
That
I don't
is.
have to cook and I have my favorite dinner when I get home.
Yes. And that goes into, what we were talking about last week with the you're cooking for everyone and then you're cleaning up and then you don't have anything left to eat and you don't have anything left in you to eat. Here's your dinner presented to you that you can actually
I know.
eat. That sounds amazing.
It sounds fabulous. I can't wait.
Mhm. I like this plan. Okay. And it's so there's so many different ways. I was talking to one of our friends and they're trying to figure out what to do. It's like, well, their last partner always just would get them Taco Bell and something like that. I want to go out dancing. Those are very extreme differences. Like, hey, here's some takeout for us and let's go out on the town and be fancy. And mind you, I know absolutely nowhere around us to go dancing or anything like that. And both of us would rather just stay home. But there's so many
Yeah.
differences in how people want to celebrate holidays like this, want to express it, want to be a part of it. And there is literally no wrong answer in general. There's plenty of wrong answers for interpersonal.
Right. And it's that reality versus expectation, right? We can really set our standards so high without the reality of what is your partner capable of giving on these holidays.
Hmm.
Is your expectation a little unrealistic? And are you going to get upset? And how's it going to impact your anxiety, your emotions, your feelings of self worth because you were expecting this big romantic gesture and maybe all they had in them was to get you a bundle of flowers and tell you that they love you. And for them, that was big. And for you, you're like, well, Sally's husband
Hmm.
took her, like you said, out dancing and to dinner. And how does it look different for your relationship versus comparing yourself to others?
Yeah,
Although ours are clearly very similar here.
they are. They are. Our comparison works. But
We're both working and cooking.
yeah, that might be an us problem. Yet to be seen. The comparison though for anxiety especially, that is such a big one on both sides. Am I doing enough? Am I making my partner feel loved enough, feel special enough? Am I doing a big enough gesture? Do they really understand what I feel about them? And then on the other side, that expectation of, "Well, they had 3 dozen long stem roses and I got a carnation. Well, they got diamonds and I got a dinner." Like, what are you expecting? What are you measuring yourself up to and why? What is it about
Mhm.
that thing that you think you want, that you think you should have? If you give me a diamond, that means you really love me. It means they're rich. I don't know. It means it might not be a real diamond. I don't know. Doesn't necessarily shortcut the emotional connection we're hoping it does.
Right.
Mm. It'd be nice if you could shortcut those things, but you can't, especially with anxiety, because then you will doubt everything anyway.
Yes. And about that doubting, how does that make you feel?
Because it's like, oh, this is so. What if it's just straight? Oh, they said such nice things. What if they're just lying? Oh, they got me some. What if they just thought they had to? So, like, there's that constant roller coaster of if you do this, it means this, but I still feel anxiety. I still feel down. I still don't think I'm that amazing and deserve all these things. So,
Mm.
what if you didn't really mean it for me? And what do we do when we start feeling that doubt?
Doubt can be a killer. And then you start really picking at yourself
Hmm.
and your partner, right? Maybe you're making it bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah. Bigger than it needs to be. Maybe you're looking for they have to be at this level in order to prove they love me. Maybe you're looking for if they don't know intuitively that I prefer sapphires to diamonds, they're not paying attention to me. And maybe that's true. Maybe you drop hints all the time, or maybe you're expecting them to mind read. Maybe you're expecting them to know things that you're not willing to say or to be vulnerable about, that you're not willing to express because you know it. So everyone should know it because that's how
Yeah.
theory of mind
They should
works. If
just
I know it,
know.
you know it. Yeah, yeah. You know, they never just know. No one just knows. For all of the, I'm going to, pay $1 million if you can prove you can read my mind things. No one's been paid out for it yet. Be great if they
Mhm.
had. Yeah.
I need a crystal ball.
I have one. I have a crystal ball. I use it on purpose for them. Like, all right, can you read this? Because I can't.
Exactly.
It's also very heavy and just it's nice to meditate and look at, so it's very grounding and relaxing because it's a solid ball of glass. It's fun. It's fun.
Yes. I read a comment on Facebook yesterday that I wanted to bring up,
Oh,
but now that we're about this, I feel like it works perfect. So it said, if we are in a situationship, should I expect him to do something for me for Valentine's Day? And if he doesn't, does that mean I should end this?
ooh.
It's like,
There's
huh,
like 6 things in there. Where do you wanna start?
right. First of all, you're in a situationship, which means neither of you have set the expectations for that relationship other than we hang out and we hook up every once in a while.
Yeah. So is this a lack of talking? Is this a we're friends with benefits, but I want it to be more, but it's not actually more, but if I'm hoping I lean into it, it becomes more? Is this a it's really complicated. One or both of us isn't out of our other relationship yet, but we don't want to deal with that because adulting is hard. You know,
Adulting is really hard.
adulting is hard. It absolutely is. Yeah, situationship is a big question mark. A big what does that mean? So yeah, so the first question is what is this thing? Like what are the
Mhm.
ground rules? What are the expectations? Have you set the expectations to each other? Is this a situationship because I just don't want to say it? Is it a situationship because well we're not really exclusive yet, but you do matter to me? What is it?
Are you creating that mind reading situation again? Like you're sitting here asking a world full of random strangers on Facebook if he doesn't do something for me, then should I end it? Well, where's the expectation or the understanding that you wanted him to do
Mhm.
something for you? Have you guys had that conversation?
Right. And this could be either way. This could be a I really want this to be something more and I want that validation that this is what I think it should be. Or it could be the
Mhm.
I don't really want to be in this, but I don't want to end it. So let me set these invisible goalposts. If you don't meet this thing that I'm not going to tell you about, I get to tell you you failed.
Exactly.
Mhm. So it's not
Mhm.
I'm not in it and I'm ending it. It's you failed even though you didn't know the criteria you were being measured against.
Yeah.
Because that comment especially, that is one of those beautiful moments where you can end the rom-com in 5 minutes flat. You walk
Yeah.
up to the person, you open your mouth, and you say, "Hey, would you like to do anything for Valentine's Day? Are we at that level yet? Or are we still chill?"
Exactly. How? Maybe Valentine's Day is the perfect time to have that discussion and say, are we moving forward?
Mhm.
Let's make this something. Or actually, I'm just not that into you. What's a
Yeah,
book, right? In a movie.
yeah, yeah. And that's an okay thing. Like, it'll
Mhm.
hurt whatever side wants to be more into it than the other side. It'll definitely hurt, and it's okay. This relationship ran its course. It really was only this. It was good and now it's not. It was whatever. It was a successful relationship for 3 months, but that's all I want of this one. Okay.
Yep. Now maybe you can both go out and find somebody who wants the same thing that you do.
Mhm. Instead of, well, it's good enough. Well, at least I have someone. Well, I can say I'm in a relationship. Okay. What are you really going to do with that?
Mhm.
What do you really want out of it? Do you just want that label? If so, dig back into your high school roots and have that boyfriend in another country. I don't know. They're
Oh,
just over there with their
absolutely.
family. They'll be back for the prom, I promise.
Exactly. Ignore the pictures of him with that woman that might look like a wife and the three kids standing
Oh
next to him.
no, that's totally I didn't just pick the first cute guy I found on Google image search. Honest. That didn't happen. It's true love with what's his name.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then being kind to your friends too, right? Like, not everybody enjoys Valentine's Day. Not everybody's excited about it.
Mhm. You do want that balance, like in your own sphere, so your own Facebook page, your own stuff. It's good to be excited when you're excited, like, oh my gosh, we have plans. We're gonna have dinner together. We're gonna have a romantic night in. We're gonna go out dancing. We're gonna, have a vacation somewhere for this weekend. It's a long weekend for some Valentine's Day folks, so that's kind of nice. Like we're gonna do something big. But if you're in someone else's space, read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room. If someone just broke up, maybe don't talk about the heart-shaped hot tub at the ski lodge you're about to go to. The mirror on the ceiling, maybe don't mention that one.
Some things are okay to keep to yourself.
Or just find a different circle to share them with.
Yeah.
You'll
But if you're doing a red room, I don't want to know.
eh,
I love you and Casey both, but whatever kinks y'all got going on, we got to be drinking to have that
mhm.
conversation.
There's some not safe for work things we'll share. It's, when lizards jump out of bras and stuff like that. And there's some that like, no. No. Like I am happy. I like the topic of sex. It is fun to talk about. If you're not in my bedroom, I don't talk about mine with many people. Mine is mine.
Yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
involved for that.
Exactly. The same.
Yeah,
However, if you want to talk about all the dirty smut in the books that I'm reading,
that's different.
I got you.
Mhm. There's just enough separation. You're like, we can talk and we can talk in and out and up and down, and there is absolutely no judgment because it's not real. But then as soon as it's ours, it's like, I have to be drunk for that one. And I have to know it's not being recorded. I don't want evidence of my life.
And then whenever I'm around your wife, I'm gonna have to be like, "Oh my gosh, I
Hmm.
know what kind of
I
dirty stuff y'all
know.
did."
It's like, I can't think of you without thinking of this thing. I'm trying to come up with something preposterous, and my brain's not working at the moment. But yeah, ice cubes hanging from the ceiling. I don't know. Sure, it's in a book
Be like,
somewhere.
"I know about that stripper pole in your bedroom."
Mhm, mhm, mhm. We can't even get them to install a dishwasher. You think we can get anyone to install a stripper pole in our house?
Anything's possible.
I just need someone to drive down my driveway and hook my dishwasher up with the
One
dishwasher.
second.
But, some people don't want Valentine's Day because their relationship status. Some people don't want Valentine's Day, like we had a very close family friend that died on Valentine's Day for 1 year. So it was like, okay, lovey dovey. But also in the back of my head, there's this feeling. Some people feel that. Some people just hate the commercialism that comes with it and they'd rather celebrate Sweetheart's Day and make a statement by rallying against Valentine's Day. If that's you, that's great. That's fine. But again, read the room. If someone is like so excited because their new sweetheart just got them chocolates and it's so awesome, don't, just go ramble about there is no ethical consumption and consumerism somewhere else and let them enjoy their chocolate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it's okay to say, "Wow, that's sweet," and then change the conversation. You
absolutely.
don't have to poo-poo on somebody else's parade.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like you're allowed to have opinions. If you're trying to make your opinion everyone else's, what are you doing? Why?
I think that's a really difficult thing in our, I wanna say country, but our society.
Hmm.
It's just being nice. Like, what you can be kind and accept others for what they have and what they're going through without trying to change how they feel.
Mhm. It is hard. And I do think there's some validation we can get from making sure others feel the way we're feeling. Like, you have to be upset at what I'm upset with. You have to have the values that I value. Otherwise, I'm wrong. And I'm not wrong because this is what I believe. So I can't be wrong. So you must be wrong. So you have to believe what I believe. Otherwise, I'm wrong. And that's that blending of opinion versus fact. Like, some
Right.
things are wrong. Don't murder people because you think you're better than them. That's kind of innate, right? It's like, ew, you like the color blue? I'm gonna kill you now. Like, there's some very easy lines here. Some
Yeah.
things aren't as easy, you know? They're just not.
You don't have to agree to love.
Mhm. Yeah, but you do have to know, trying to figure out how to word that one. Like, you do have to know what your boundaries are and what's safe for you. So, like, if you're disagreeing about something like, should every kid go to college? Have a discussion, point out, this is what I feel like, this is what I'm believing, this is where I'm at with it. If you're disagreeing about every kid should go to college and therefore I am going to take away all school funding whatsoever and all student loans so that no kid can go to college because I don't think anyone should go to college. Now you're putting your opinion on someone else. Well,
Right.
what are you doing? And now you're going to get a lot more pushback and you're going to get a lot more personal attacks. And you're going to get a lot more things because it's no longer, this is what I believe and this is what's right for me. And these are the facts that have informed my opinion. Now it's, I don't care about yours. I'm going to do mine. So, safety wise, depends how much power people have, but there are some opinions where it is safer to say, thank you for your opinion. I'm never talking to you again. Bye.
Hey, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Thanks for the conversation.
Mhm. Like, it is just, you know, agreeing to disagree has limits. And there's a lot of, we're going to agree to disagree and I can interact with you. We're going to agree to disagree and we're not going to talk about this unless we are at a state of like, hey, I have some new information. I would like your opinion on it because I don't agree with you. So if I get your opinion on it, I might actually understand it a little bit better. That's actually a good thing to do. Keep
It
yourself
reminds
informed.
me of those people that set up like those stands that say like, um, my brain's not working now. Like usually a hot topic, and you see those
Right.
people, and they're like, "Let's have a discussion about this. Let's have a debate.
Mhm.
Explain to me why you feel this is why you agree or disagree."
Yeah. I know Casey recently she found, can't even remember, I'll have to look it up and put in the notes. It's a YouTube channel, I think. But they do a bunch of different videos, so they'll have like, I think, the trad wife trend is wonderful and I think more people should do this. And if you agree, you go sit on one side. If you disagree, you go sit on the other side, and then you start talking. And after a set amount of time, if you're not getting anywhere, the people that are trying to argue against you get swapped out with other people, and you just kind of keep going of, do you have a point you can make? And a lot of that comes down to, how polarizing is this? And what's everyone's blind spots? What are their, how rigid are you in this belief? Are you like, yes, this is what I believe. Let me hear your side and your opinions, why not? And I will explain mine. And listening to someone else's side and someone else's opinion won't necessarily change yours if you already know that information and have accounted for it. If you didn't know
Mm.
that information at all, it should change your opinion in some way, either making it stronger because the information actually supports your side or letting you think and kind of adjust things. And if you didn't know that information at all and you completely reject it, kinda kinda digging yourself a hole there and not looking good.
It as long as people are willing and open to say, "I may not agree with you, but I'm willing to try to hear it from your
Mhm.
perspective," versus being in your head the whole time that somebody's talking to you saying, "No, no, I don't no, you're dumb. You're
Mhm,
dumb. You shouldn't think that way. Why do you think that way?" Right? And then as soon as they're done talking, you're immediately like, "Oh my gosh, this
mhm,
is why you're wrong. This is why
yeah.
you're the problem."
Let me ignore
Versus
everything you said and give you the bullet points I already have in my head that somebody else told me.
exactly. And then you're not willing to take it into consideration of, "Oh, I can see why you see it that way," or, "I can understand you see it that way," or
Mhm,
maybe I don't understand why you see it that way, but we clearly have different perceptions on it. Or maybe,
right,
I never thought of it that way. Let me look at it a little differently.
right. 'Cause it's and there's so many things. I know we're kinda waddling a little bit away from Valentine's Day
A
with
little
this stuff,
bit.
but there's so many things that fall into that. It fall into if you can understand someone else's side and why they may disagree with you, that really should make your argument stronger. It should be a better argument because you'll be able to address that side. Like, "Oh,
Mhm,
you're terrified because of this reason, and this reason." That makes sense. Oh, you well, pull it back in a little bit. You hate Valentine's Day because of commercialism and because it's, horribly overpriced candy and it's just to make Valentine. Okay. At the core of it, it is a day that is on purpose to make us tell someone that we love, hey, you're important, you're valued, you're appreciated, you're loved, and to help them feel special. Can you do that without buying the overpriced Hallmark cards and the wonderful tasty candy hearts because they've gone back to their original flavors, which are the good ones? Can you do that?
mhm. Absolutely. And it really makes you think about, am I showing you that I love you enough
Mhm.
throughout the year? Or are you so surprised by how much I did for you that maybe I'm not doing enough? And this is a reminder I need to do more.
If you surprise your loved one on Valentine's Day, like, "Hey, I brought you flowers," or "Hey, I did this thing for you," and they are absolutely floored, there's a slight issue there. Just a slight and it could be their anxiety and their self-esteem and, "Oh my gosh, nope, nobody thinks of this," and they could just block off every time you do any of these gestures. Or it could be, "Oh, I have not been showing you that I appreciate you and I love you and I care for you in a way that you've been able to receive this entire year.
Mhm.
I failed." And then let's just step up the game a little bit. Flowers
Yeah.
on non important dates, love notes, just stopping and saying, "Hey, I love you. Anything you need from me."
It's the beginning of the year. I feel like it falls at a really good time to say, you know what? I'm going to try to be better this year. This is
Mhm,
my reminder to show the person that I love how much I love them.
mhm,
And it doesn't just have to be your significant other, your kids, your family members, your friends.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'm very like, I will tell my friends I love them all the time because I do. It's a very different emotion, it's a very different feeling, but it's still love. You're still family, you are still important to me, my family is very important to me. If we're not saying that in a way that they understand, if we're not showing that to the people that matter to us, we do risk them not thinking they matter. "I'm sure they know, I'm sure they know." Okay, but let's pull back with that anxiety bit. You have that anxiety. I'm sure you know, nah, makes more sense that I am worthless. It makes more sense that you don't care about me. Makes more sense that you never said it because you don't feel it and you only say it when you're forced to say it. So I guess it's not really a thing.
Exactly. There is that struggle of the in between levels
Mm.
of, well, you know that I love you,
Do I?
but do I know you love me? Maybe my anxiety is
Mm.
telling me, oh my gosh, you're always upset at me. I'm always doing something wrong. Because the only time that you do respond is if you're correcting something. You're like, well, I didn't say anything because you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe I need to hear every once in a while that, I love you. I
Yeah.
like when you do
Right.
those things for me.
Because if the only time you hear that is when you're having a mental breakdown, if the only time anyone steps in and says, "No, you're loved, you're valued," is when you're on the floor, then we have the excuse of, "Well, you're only saying this to save me from having this breakdown." Or we have the nice little behavioral brains being, okay, this is a level I have to get to in order to get that validation. So I'm going to get to this level quicker every time I want that validation. And it makes it more likely that you have these breakdowns and that you have these blowups because you're so starved for that feedback. And this is how we get the feedback. This is how they tell me they love me when they come home and I am crying my eyes out, hitting my head against a wall, and there's chaos all around me, and the house is a mess, and the kids are screaming, and the dogs are. Okay, we don't want that to be the normal. We don't want that to be the way you get told you're loved.
Communication is key. Just
Hmm.
because you assume they feel that way doesn't mean they feel that way.
Hmm. And why not state the obvious? It's kind of nice, you know. When you say the really cute, sweet things to them, they get like that little smile, or they blush a bit, and they like actually feel good about themselves for half a second. It's kind of really fun. I like making people I care about feel like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
You know.
glorious. I
Yes.
like making people feel good.
Yeah. It's like, and that's the thing is like all of all of this, all of Valentine's Day, all of showing that you care, all of these are ways to support people that you care about feeling good.
Yep.
How in any way is that bad? How is that something to do? No, 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 no. Buy them cute things, say sweet things, make your own cards, buy a card. I don't care. Let people know they're cared about and they're worth being cared about.
Just because you feel like it's not important to you doesn't mean it's not important to them.
Mhm. Well, and
And I
that's a
think that
question
was a
too.
s
Mhm,
that was a big struggle between my husband and I, is little things are important to me. And for him, he's like, "It's just another holiday. It's just, birthdays are huge for me, right? Like, going
mhm,
off Valentine's Day, but birthdays are huge for my
mhm,
family. They always have been." For him and his family, it's, "Oh, you acknowledge it's your birthday and you move forward," right? Like, it's not something
mhm,
they put a lot of emphasis on.
mm,
So, coming into my family was a culture shock for him because we go all out for birthdays, and he didn't understand. He was like, "I don't understand why you're so upset that I scheduled a hockey game on your birthday." Like,
mhm.
it's just a day, like, it's just your birthday, we're doing something. Yeah, but did you consider me on that day?
Right.
Because for me, it's your birthday, and I am getting your favorite meal, I'm making sure you have a cake, like, it's all big things. I wake you up and I let you know it's your birthday, whether you wanna remember or not.
Mhm.
So, it's being willing to have those conversations and remembering that just because it's insignificant to you doesn't mean it might be insignificant to your partner.
Right. 'Cause it kind of falls for me like that reasoning is the same idea as, on the opposite end of it. Arguments are rarely about the thing that set the argument off. Like
Mhm.
this giant birthday celebration is not about birthdays are amazing. It's about your family showing the value they have for you and celebrating you and putting that effort into we want you to feel special on a day just for you. Okay. So if it's like, it's another day, okay. How does he like to be celebrated? How does he like to be made to feel special? Is there something equivalent in his world of this is how you get that validation? This is how you get that needs met. This is how I do it. So I need you to communicate with me in the way that I receive it. And I will work on communicating with you in the way that you receive it. If you hate a giant birthday blowout, I'm not going to throw you a giant birthday blowout to show you that you're special. I will do something else that does work for you because I actually care about you.
Yes, absolutely. I have had to learn to tone it down for him and recognize I am forcing my way of loving on him. He's like, "I don't look forward to my birthday like that."
Which is
So
hard.
it is, it's really hard because I'm like, "Let's go do something," and he's like, "Let's not, it's just another day." So I'm like, "Okay." I get a little cake that he likes, and I still make his favorite dinner, but I don't make a big to-do about it.
Mhm.
Like, there's no surprise birthdays or anything happening.
Because some people do not want a surprise party ever. Some people can handle them, some people cannot. I don't think
Mhm.
your hubby can handle that. No.
Yeah.
But it is. It's like, what makes him feel seen? What makes him feel special? Does he need that ego boost in that way? How? Does he know there's a connection there?
Exactly.
Does he
Yep.
make steaks for you? Because you need that, and you need the big thing, and, if he planned a surprise birthday party for you, it would probably be best for him if he planned it, and then as soon as it started, he left. That way he doesn't have to deal with it. You get what you need, and he doesn't need to.
Please no surprises, so tell me what's gonna happen.
Yes, yes. I will show up, and you will come find me, and there's no surprises. We got this.
We will be there. Oh, I have a scab and I have a dog hair in my scab. Tell me you have dogs out. Tell me you have dogs.
Too many dogs. Just gotta cough for a second and die. Choke on
Okay.
tea. It works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I hope you all have a Valentine's Day that suits your fancy.
Yes. Absolutely. Whatever it is that
Or
makes
have
you feel special. Yep.
yes. By the time you guys hear this, it'll be had a Valentine's Day
Yes.
that suited your fancy.
But hey, delays are already allowed. Words. So this will be out on Monday. So it's a holiday for most people, but delays are allowed. If you can't celebrate Valentine's Day Friday, but you have next weekend free, hey, I would really love to do this. I would like to feel special, and can you help me feel special in this way? I really need this. Putting your needs out there, asking for their needs. You know, that
Saying, hey, this makes
communication.
me really anxious.
Hmm.
This is how I need support. Can you support me?
So when you make the promises because you don't want to disappoint me, so you're like, well, maybe we'll go out and maybe we'll do this and maybe we'll do this. It actually makes me panic more because in my head, it is a plan that I know you're not gonna do because you're just saying it to be nice, so I get stuck in that I'm kind of excited, but I'm also really, really anticipating disappointment, and since the reality of it is, you were just being nice because you didn't wanna disappoint me, I'm going to be disappointed. Whereas if you say, "I absolutely cannot, my work schedule is ridiculous. However, this is what I can do." Now I have boundaries. Now my expectations are realistic. Now we can
Exactly.
work on, when isn't your work schedule ridiculous? When can we get a time? When can we make this up? Why not
Mm,
have Valentine's Day once a month for 3 months in little ways because that's what works for you? Why not?
exactly. Be willing to change.
Hmm.
Change is good. Scary, but it's good.
Oh, it's so terrifying. But imagine what else we can do if we actually let ourselves change.
Hmm.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to ramble about for this?
I think that's it for me. All
Sure.
I got today.
Well, I hope you enjoy your steaks.
Oh, I'm going to. They're whack.
Ooh, that's a good one. You're going to have
Mhm.
a good meal. I will enjoy
Mm.
yours. Yeah, I hope you.
Yes.
I do love you, and I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and you feel very loved because you are, and you should be.
And I love you too, and I hope you
Thank you.
guys have a beautiful, loved,
Yay.
and connected Valentine's Day.
I hope so. We'll see. Right now, it's raining outside on top of the snow, and the temperature's supposed to drop, so we might get a snow day for a Valentine's Day. We'll see.
There you go. Have some inside time.
I'll take whatever I can get. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I'll see how editing this goes. Hopefully, it's not too bad. We'll see what it is. But if you found us once, you can find us again. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we are anywhere you can find a podcast across the internet. I need to upload more pictures and stuff to Patreon because I haven't posted the lizard yet, but lizard pics exist. Maybe I'll get more. Go down to Florida eventually. I'll get some more pictures. Where else are we at, Jess? Where else can people find us?
We are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Love it. So come yell at us. Come drop comments. Come say whatever you want. Tell us what you did for Valentine's Day if you liked it or if it needs some work.
Or how do you communicate better and adjust?
Hmm. Hmm. And we will be back in a couple of weeks and we will talk to you guys later. So take care. Bye, everyone.